What is up, Jamily? This is JamiroFan 2000 here with yet another episode of JamiroFan Talks About, where I look at the past, present, and future of JamiroQuai and their music and everything related with the band from the last 27 years of their musical history. Now, we know JamiroQuai have unexpectedly added more tour dates to their pre-existing 2019 tour, which originally was supposed to be 9 tour dates, but now since they've added Pink Pop and just most recently they added the On Blackheath Festival in London, making a return, a bit of a leg to return to the UK for the 2019 tour. I was contemplating the following question, and I know I talked about this in a previous episode of JamiroFan Talks About, but could JamiroQuai be adding more tour dates? I've seen several social media blurbs from several fans when talking about all these new tour editions that JamiroQuai could potentially have more tour dates for 2019. But I do think the band is kind of stockpiled with enough tour dates for 2019, to be honest. Now, when I did my previous episode discussing could they be adding more tour dates to 2019, I was very, very skeptical that JamiroQuai could cram in a few more tour dates, but they did prove me a bit wrong with those two recent additions to the 2019 tour, now making their grand total of tour dates for 2019 up to 13, two of which, or not 12, one of which they've already played, of course, back in February at the Dubai Jazz Festival in the United Arab Emirates. That's not counting the private gigs that JamiroQuai usually takes, and we recently see JamiroQuai did take two very high-profile private events for the Philip Morris Company in their launches of the Equos e-cigarette launch. And first, it was back in November in Milan, and then of course, most recently, at the beginning of February, they did one in Madrid, Spain. Now, as I said, the tour window for 2019 for JamiroQuai is going to be very, very tight. It's looking at like the beginning of May, ending in July, and I think it's pretty amazing that they did originally announce 9 tour dates, and then they slowly added 3 more with the progressive months. But JamiroQuai do need to get back in the studio sometime soon and try to get album 9 done. I know JK said in several interviews that most of the music is already in his head, but I do think JamiroQuai is going to give the fans, the Jamly around the European Summer Music Festival, some great gigs coming up. I don't think JamiroQuai is coming back here in the United States, unfortunately, because of the tightness of their booking and the tour coming up in 2019. Like I said, the window is very, very small. But I do think JamiroQuai most definitely will come back, and will be coming back to the United States sometime in maybe mid 2020, early 21 or 2021 maybe. But the fans, that still are having high hopes that JamiroQuai will come to their countries like Australia. I've seen like Latin America thrown around, and South America, and of course Japan again, and maybe Australia. I'm sure JamiroQuai will get around to those parts of the world in their next upcoming tour, but it depends on how long the album making process is for album 9, which I think could stretch out from between 8 months to a year to be written, to be recorded, to be mixed and mastered, and then sent on to be mass produced and then sold, either physical, digital, or whatever distribution means they decide upon. But it's going to be very interesting, this tour, how the 2019 tour will shape up. But as we said, this is the last year of the Automaton tour, so it would make a lot of sense that JamiroQuai just does these 11 tour dates, and who knows, maybe they might sneak in some new material like they did back in 2018 when they snuck in Street Fighter at the Montreux Jazz Festival in 2018. Nobody was expecting that. But I don't know if JamiroQuai have any new material done to maybe debut live, but JamiroQuai always please the fans, always please the Jamly live, so they could, and remember, this is purely my speculation, they could be slipping in a new song here or there. But, as for the 2019 tour as it is, I think it's a very good booked tour, and I don't see any more tour dates being added, because 11 tour dates in less than May, June, July, in 3 months, that's pretty incredible. I just thought I'd record a JamiroFan Talks About to try to further flesh out the possibility of JamiroQuai adding more 2019 tour dates, given they just added 2 more. And it's going to be an amazing tour, and not to mention a very, very tight tour, at least in a time speaking. But I hope you enjoyed this JamiroFan Talks About. If I come up with any more interesting topics that I can think of for the series, which is one of my most popular series here on my channel, on my on JamiroFan 2000 YouTube channel, I'll be sure to record them and try to put them up here and there throughout the summer. But as I said, the 2019 tour is starting up in about a month's time in May. So from May to July, I'm going to be very busy on the JamiroQuai subreddit covering all that. So as you can always come to the JamiroQuai subreddit and see all my coverage of all the social media activity emanating from each of these respective tour dates coming up in the 2019 tour. And it's been, like I said, looking back from 2017 to 2019, the Automaton album era has been absolutely amazing, and I look for more amazing things coming down the road from JamiroQuai and the music. But as always, this is JamiroFan 2000. I hope you enjoyed this JamiroFan Talks About. Be sure to look back on my channel for other great videos talking about JamiroQuai and their music. And I'll be sure to see you again really soon with more JamiroQuai Minutes, more JamiroFan Talks About, more unboxing videos, and many more JamiroQuai related videos here on the JamiroFan 2000 YouTube channel. Bye-bye, everybody.